Okay, call the meeting in order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody to the November 12th meeting of the Rhinebeck Village Board. First item on the agenda is discussion of the resolution for the fire contract between the Village of Rhinebeck and the town. Heath is going to take a leave from our meeting after we pass the resolution so he can attend the budget workshop or budget public hearing across the street. Heath, go ahead.
All right, so we got a couple updates here from the previous numbers. I know I had emailed out this form, but I just passed out another one. It's got a few updates to it because the fire department runs their year November 1st to October 31st, so we have the final numbers for the year with a total of 801 calls, which set a department record. It did not change the breakdown of town to village percentages over the last 4 years, so it remains that the town accounts for 52% of the calls and picks up about 40% of the costs. So the new part is the second table there, which breaks out the per call rates for the other districts that also provide coverage to the Town of Rhinebeck Fire Protection District. And the first column there, the total cost, the one that's in the 100,000 plus range, that includes the district as well as the contracted rate that the town pays them to cover a portion of the fire protection district. Keep in mind that the Rhinebeck Fire Department call number there is exact as reported. The other two are estimates, the best we have right now, which are, I am told, on the very high side. So bottom line is that Rhinecliff gets about $187,000 from the town taxpayer, and they complete about 150 calls a year for per call rate of almost $1,250. Hillside gets reimbursed at a rate of a total of $148,000 and change, $148,000 and change, and they have less than 200 calls, which would make the per call rate $742 per call. Our current, in the current town budget, we're budgeted for $146,000. Well, $146,340, and as I said before, there were 431 calls, which would bring our per call rate in at $340. What's been presented twice to the town board at their budget hearings is a contracted rate of $187,953, which would be exactly 52% of our projected cost for 2014. So that would increase hours to $436 per call, but that's still well below the compensation that the other districts receive. If we were to use the average just between Rhinecliff and Hillside, we'd be looking at $958 per call would be the going rate, and in that case we would be asking for almost $413,000, but we're only asking for $187,953, and you know, it's my feeling that the village taxpayers should not continue to subsidize the cost of fire protection for town residents and properties. So I would like to make a motion to establish the contract rate for fire protection to the Rhinebeck Fire Protection District at $187,953 for calendar year 2014.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
If we've quantified this, do we even have the option of asking for less? I mean, wouldn't that kind of be an unauthorized gift to the town? Rich?
Now that you have these figures, this is what it should be.
Right.
We can't ask our taxpayer to subsidize the town fire contract.
Okay.
So,
It's clear to me then.
They can either agree to pay the contract, or they can, if they want to, they can opt to contract with somebody else for the coverage.
And the calls for the town are probably more expensive than the calls in the village, because the distance is involved and so on.
Yeah, distance is greater, outside the village limits, of course.
Is,
A good percentage of this is rescue squad calls too.
yeah, I was just gonna
You know?
ask.
And rescue squad, of course, you gotta figure an hour minimum on every rescue squad call, you know? And we're not even factoring in any man hours here. It's a volunteer fire company, you know? So, I mean, they get one heck of a bang for their buck. And,
Is the-
you know, it's, sadly, over the years, none of this was ever monitored. You know,
Yeah.
it's only over the last several years since we've all been involved in this picture that we've come to realize exactly what the numbers are. That was the whole idea when Wayne got on the board, was to, I asked him to work with the fire company and get a breakdown of town and village responses, so we knew where we stood.
Now, the breakdown with the emergency calls is the same as the fire calls?
All the calls that I gave were all included. I'm
Yeah.
told that it's,
It's the same ratio for the ambulance calls, is that the same ratio?
It's figured on total call volume. It's not broken down and itemized by whether it's a rescue squad call or a fire call. The number that you got here is 431 calls in the town, and that combines fire calls and
No, I'm just anticipating questions.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm told that about 500 of the total calls, and,
you know, the bottom line here is that this is what the money we need in order to cover the operating costs.
Yeah.
the total of, last year, out of those 801, 510 are EMS calls,
Oh.
and out of those, 247 go to the town. So about half of the EMS calls go to the town, and they take, if you look at the fire calls, it would be 141 for the town and 95 for the village.
Okay.
So, and then there's motor vehicles are broken out as well. And that would all be part of the regular department report that would come later, have all that.
Now, just so I'm clear, you said under the 2013 figures that are updated, you said the year was from when?
The fire department year goes from November 1st to October 31st.
Okay.
And they do that for training reasons, so that they can have all their numbers in line for the elections of officers and such, which takes place next month.
And these numbers represent that time span?
Correct.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
just one quick question, these ratios, 52%, 48, was that consistent for 4 years?
Well,
Yeah.
I just figured it out here. It is pretty consistent. As a matter of fact, it's higher, except for 2012 it was 48%. 2010 was 52%, 2011 53%. As I said, 2012 48%, and 2013 53%.
It's actually higher in the past year. The number that I used was the entire 4-year history to come up with the 52% average
Right.
over 4 years. So that's you're looking at a sample of 3,086 calls that were divided to come up with that 52%.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Thanks, Heath.
All right.
Thank you.
So I will excuse myself and head across the street. Good luck.
Okay.
Good luck. Thank you.
Heath, do you have a call report for the month, for October?
I do.
You don't
I have
have-
a bunch of stuff to report on.
Do you? All right, I'll save it for when you get back then. Okay. Hi, Jack.
Good evening.
How are you? We started a little early tonight because he
I know,
had
I
to
saw it on the agenda,
go across the,
first item.
he has to go across the hallway. Okay, next item on the agenda, Joel Tyner is not going to be here this evening because he is attending the Clinton Town Board meeting. As everybody's aware, there's a proposal for a power line expansion through our area in Milan and Clinton, so there's been a lot of meetings about that, so Joel's attending that tonight. He did notify us he would. Wastewater Department, Grant?
For October, we had 3.5 million gallons of wastewater treated, 37,455 gallons of sludge processed, at 4,713 pounds of sludge processed. Fairly quiet month, however, the new sludge press, the variable frequency drive, went kaput, and it's under warranty and has been replaced and is functioning, knock on wood. So we'll keep an eye on that to make sure that it's not a continuing problem. I think you're all in possession of a letter from Anthony Gasparini recommending that we make an appointment for William Maniero. And he's been successfully completed his 90-day probationary period and has done well. So we're recommending that his probation status be changed to permanent full-time. He's a grade 2A certified wastewater operator, and we want to get him up to 3A. In order to do that, he requires 1 year of on-the-job employment and completion of his certification work, which he started. So I'd like to make a motion that we appoint William Maniero to permanent full-time status at the wastewater facility.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question. So he has a year to get his 3A,
Yeah.
and what happens if, I'm being a devil's advocate here, what happens if he doesn't?
Got to keep trying, I guess.
You can keep
He's
trying.
still- Yeah, he's still
Okay.
valuable employee.
But he was hired as a 2A, right?
Yeah, with the knowledge that he's going to
Gonna go train.
move forward to become a 3A.
So if he doesn't pass his 3A, he's still...
He can still work at the facility doing,
Okay.
functioning the same way.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. So, Grant, after he, just so it's clear, this stuff that he has to do through Morrisville, he has to get the year in before he can go do that? Or he has to
No,
do this in
it's-
order to...
Goes at the same time. He started the Morrisville program.
Okay. Because it says something about 1 week supervisory management course being offered in February. So is he going to be going for a week in February to attend this?
Yeah, that's my understanding, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to pass a resolution for it, for that at some point, right?
I mean, if it's like just a nominal fee, then I'll just, if it's under $500, I'll just approve it as,
Well, imagine he's
the
going to be up
liaison.
there for a week, there's going to be room and meals and...
yeah, that'll come
stuff,
up
right?
later,
So-
yep. Yep.
Okay. All right,
That's
just
true.
so everybody's...
Unless he drives back and forth. I don't know where Morrisville is.
2.5
Center of the
hours.
state.
Okay.
Coming up, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I don't think he'll drive back and forth.
How far is it from Chicago?
It's on the
Stay at
way.
your family's house?
It's on the way to Chicago.
Okay, thanks. Anything else on wastewater?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah. Okay. Water department, Heinz?
Yeah, we treated in October 15,266,000 gallons. Installed a new turbidity monitoring equipment that we had bought and installed it and wired it. I want to give you an update on the squirrel infestation that we had. We removed the trees, and now I'm looking at getting the insulation replaced. And one of the things that I see is we have condensation in other places than where the squirrels were coming down. So I'd like to talk to our village engineer to get her idea of what is the best way to insulate this, whether we should use fiberglass, which is what we have now, or blow insulation inside, or use some other type of some other type of insulation. I probably won't be, it would be about an hour or so that I need her just to talk to her. I have scheduled 3 people to look at this, and some of them tomorrow and Thursday and on Friday.
So the 3 people that are looking at it, what are they looking at it for?
Well, that's why I wanted to get the engineer, just have her ask a question and come down to the plant and look at it. So they're
Who are
going to...
The 3 people that are looking at it tomorrow, what are they looking at?
They're going to be looking at replacing the insulation and putting new insulation in there. But I want to,
But we haven't talked to the engineer yet.
I haven't talked to the engineer, and I want to just tell the board that I'm going to ask her first for an hour to come over and take a look at it. I see the guys in the
Don't
afternoon.
we need to do that before we talk to these other people?
No, I don't think so,
Determine whether
because,
we're going to do fiberglass or foam?
yeah, well, I want to see the engineer first, and then I see the people who installed it and ask them to do either fiberglass or foam, whatever the engineer.
Oh, so in other words, the contractors aren't material specific?
No.
Okay.
They can do
All right.
they can do any kind
All
of
right.
thing, okay? It's just a question that I have in my mind is the kind of airflow under the metal roof, and I want to make sure that we do the right thing there. Water distribution system. We flushed hydrants, all the hydrants, or most of the hydrants in the town, in the village, and in Rhinecliff. We replaced the fire hydrant at Beach Street and Chestnut Street. We've replaced the fire hydrant at 10 Platt Avenue. We installed a new 6-inch valve on Montgomery Street and Platt Avenue, and replaced a 4-inch valve on Platt Avenue and Montgomery Street. So in total, this year, or this season, actually starting from last September to today, we replaced a total of 11 old fire hydrants. We also replaced 14 old, ancient, non-operational shut-off valves and deactivated 6 unnecessary valves, and removed some of them in that past calendar year. I started work on evaluating the distribution system, and I sent each of you at the beginning of my work here to take a look, to correlate hydrant flow rates with the conditions of the pipes in the ground. And what I have found is a fairly good correlation. And we also found, after talking to some people in the fire department, what flow rates should be. And in some instances, we have here, at least in six areas out of the 13 that I looked at, we have subpar flow rates in the pipes, in the hydrant. The areas are Chestnut, Livingston, Mill Street, and Mill Road.
Two T's, not 2 A's. Platt Avenue.
Oh, I thought it was 2 A's.
No, 2 T's.
Oh, wow, thank you. So,
I thought one was a typo, and then I said...
no, I thought when I looked at it, I thought it was P-L-A-A-T, so, okay. Yeah, so, of course, the hydrants that I selected, the areas that I selected were, I had a sense that there were problems in these areas, so that's why I selected them first. And just as a, to get some kind of a sense of what good hydrants look like, we did also some on South Parsonage and on Beach and Chestnut Streets, where we knew they were fairly new and big-sized pipes, and we had fairly good flow. So I'm doing this work really to set to get an idea of what the whole distribution systems in the village looks like. So a lot of it is over 100 years old, and I think at some point, and probably soon, we have to start replacing in some areas there. And if you take a look at the pictures that I have shown you here, they look pretty bad. And and it's not just only the 4-inch pipes, but also the 6-inch pipes, and particularly the 6-inch pipes I sampled in 2 places, one of them at South Street and one of them at Platt Avenue. And both of them are really pretty badly tuberculated. And the 4-inch pipes are even worse, of course, because they are older, and so I want to just lay this out to you, so because at some point we have to make a decision what we want to do with these. Are there any questions on that?
Is there any chance that some of these could be Are there any valve issues? I mean,
Yeah,
are-
well, I think I told you a couple of months ago that I mean, I take it personally, I shouldn't. It's the water department.
Well, wait, I don't mean shut-off valves. I mean, like, with regard to some of these readings,
Yeah.
could they be lower because the valve on the hydrant is partially?
No.
That can't be an
That
issue?
is not an issue.
That's not an
No.
issue.
It's an issue of the amount of cross-section in the pipe and the distance from the main and the size of certainly the size of the pipe. But I think I told you about a couple of months ago, as I was going through the replacement of fire hydrants, and we saw what happens in the lines, and then we wanted to replace fire hydrants. We couldn't because we had water valves that were in bad shape. So some of the emphasis, I shifted some of the emphasis to replace the water valves. Now, we are done with that for this year, but in the spring, the areas where we're going to look at is on South Street and 308, Route 308, East Market Street, where the mobile station is. That whole complex there the valves are in pretty bad shape. Some of them don't work. We can't open them or close them, and so we're going to work on that.
We just replaced some valves just to the east of there this year, right?
Yeah, we replaced the valve, I would say about maybe a quarter of a mile east of the mobile station.
So you think,
Just before you have your driveway, right?
Yeah.
Probably, it's only a couple hundred yards.
Yeah, that's the one, that particular valve, well, yeah, okay, that particular valve was actually feeding the high school. And we couldn't shut it off. We wanted to replace the hydrant and had to spend 2 days after we couldn't shut off the valve. We couldn't shut off the valve there. We couldn't shut it off on East Market Street as well. And we had to go all the way down to South Parsons Street to shut the valves off. So to get control of our distribution system, that is one of the first things we have to do is replace the water valves. I want to talk about some other items that I have. The first thing I want to talk about is we had a few months ago, I think it was probably in April or May, approved transfer of some of the water department fund balance to lagoon cleanout, additional hydrants and valves that we wanted to install, and the funding for the distribution system. And we haven't done that yet, and I just wanted to remind the board that I'd really like to do that, to put that money aside. And I ask Lisa here to do that at the earliest possible.
So we already did approve it.
We had approved this. We had approved it, yeah. It just hasn't been done.
I got two people talking, so I'm not hearing both of you.
You approved it, we hadn't done it yet because we were trying to get all the end of the year stuff done before we transferred any money
Yeah.
anywhere,
Right.
which we can do now, so.
Okay. The other question I have is I have seen expenditure report, but I have not seen any income reports. So I guess I can get a daily fund balance, but I'd really like to know what our income is versus what we have
Talk about
planned.
that later.
Okay. One other thing is, I had a number of issues with consumers, water consumers, about the amount of water that they're using, and so I resolved all of them so far. But one of the things I would like to have is to get another license for a utility software that Pat has in her computer, and I want to have that software, which is it's not the billing and so on. It's just a utility where we take data from the meters on a daily or quarterly hour to see what flows going through there over a 90-day period. I don't know what that's going to cost, but I think it's under $1,000 from what my conversations with Thai sales. So,
$100,000?
no, under 1,000, under.
I thought you said 100,000.
No, under 1,000.
That's one way to get what
So,
you want.
so I want to,
That woke me up.
Good news.
So I just want to tell you that that's what I'd like to do. The second item is I need to get a computer, a newer computer for the water department for Tom, and a bigger monitor so we can do some of the work that needs to be done down there, and then have an extra computer for our new hire. One of the things I'm doing is I'm asked Pat to tell me those census meters that are near the turnover point. We seem to have a lot of problems when the census meters turn from the 999,000 gallons to 1 million. And so I asked her, and these are the old meters, these are not the brand new meters that are radio heads and so on. And I ask her to give me a list of them, and during the winter I want Tom and the water boys to make an effort to change a lot of these that are turned over. Now most of them are over 20 years old, and so that's one other thing I don't want to do. So face the old census meters out. I mean, Wayne had started that some years ago, and we got about 600, but we still got about 500 or so of these old census meters to turn out. So, power reduction initiative. I sent you all a copy of a printout that I made from Menino Electric. In October, we generated 2 million kilowatt hours, 2 million kilowatt hours, consumed about 298, and we saved about, based on that, about $333 on that. Called to Central Hudson and to find out, that we asked them to change some of the high pressure mercury vapor lamps to high pressure sodium lamps, and they told me it's about 60% done, which is kind of slow. I thought that would be done by now, but he being Mark, assured me that this is going to be done in the next month or so. Okay, and I think that's all I have for this session, for this
Okay.
thing here.
Thanks, Heinz. Fire department when heat comes back. Street department, Howie.
Okay, I hope you noticed that the exterior of this firehouse was pressure washed by the street department employees.
Yes. Blinded.
I got wet.
You got wet? Our new Bobcat skid steer was delivered, and they used it to clean the parking lot across the street here, and also the street in front of the firehouse, and it did a very good job. Mike is requesting a truck and a trailer to move the Bobcat from job to job. Talk about that in a minute. He says a 1-ton dump truck would be perfect. This truck would be the replacement for the pickup truck that we plow and tow with. The leaf vac has been repaired and is working well. Leaf pickup is going well. A lot of leaves are mixed in with brush, which means loaders and the dump trucks have to be used. Please, he wants the citizens to try to keep the brush away from the leaves, in case they are using a leaf truck, which sucks up the leaves. We had to do some repairs on both backhoes. South Parsonage was striped from the blinking light to North Park Road, and a crosswalk was painted across South Parsonage Street at the intersection of North Park. And Mike reports the rest is leaves, leaves, and more leaves. So, Mike gave us 3 quotes here for a trailer for the skid steer. And this could be towed with the equipment that we have at the Village garage. One of the trucks has a ball hookup on it. You guys have them all? Two of them are 18 feet long and one is 16 feet long.
Well, seems to be no question which
Well,
is
the
the
16 is the lowest, right?
Right, that's the lowest one.
one. I'm
So
sorry?
we're not comparing apples to apples here. You got a 10,400 pound payload. You got a 13,800 pound payload, and you got a 7,000 pound. So you got three different trailers, capacity wise.
How much does the
So
skid steer
you're
weigh?
gonna get the difference in price.
Well, these two are 13,000, the 18 footers.
Which one you got looking at?
Well, the Hudson River
Trailer King,
and Trailer
Hudson
King,
River?
yeah.
13,800 pounds here. And this says 6 ton.
Says it right after.
6 ton back over 13,800 pounds.
You have a different one. Mine's, even though it is Trailer King.
No, it's the same, 6 ton, see?
Oh, it says 13,800.
This needs more research.
Okay.
I'll talk to him.
Can we get away with the 16-footer, or?
Yeah, that's plenty long enough. We probably only need a 10-foot trailer for that. What happens is when you get into those heavier trailers, they tend to be longer because they have tandem axles, et cetera.
Right. Can you pull this with a pickup truck?
He says one of the dump trucks.
One of the dump
you would
trucks?
use out there.
So we're always gonna have to, well, I guess we always have a dump truck
Yeah,
anyway,
we have
right?
3 of them, four of them. So we'll table this till next month?
I'll have to talk to him.
Okay.
Two of these quotes I just got when I got here tonight.
I know, they just came in today.
So I wasn't prepared really to act on it anyway.
Okay, we'll talk about that next month. And one other thing I wanted to talk about was I had Tom Mannix look at the bridge down there by the Legion Park, because we want to fix the railings that have been washed away. They were washed away by Hurricane Irene a couple years ago, and you guys all got this too, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The main thing he says is the bridge superstructure is in good alignment and in good condition for its age. The piers in the stream appear to be sound. So, and we're talking about the walkway that goes across Route 9, not the bridge, not Route 9. Across the stream near Route 9, not Route 9 bridge itself, but the walkway, the pedestrian walkway. So he has some ideas here.
Did you talk to Mike to see if Mike's done any work in the area? 'Cause that-
No, Mike didn't do that work, the state did that work.
That was one of the questions Tom
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to send a letter to the state, stating our case.
Okay. State did some drainage work and the water diverts down to the side, and it might be
There's
causing,
pipes that come out,
yeah,
dumps water right down there, and there's a road in the banks.
right.
That's causing the bridge problem.
That was the-
Pedestrian walkway problem.
That was the easy way to do it. Okay, we'll talk to the state on that. That's it for me, for the
Can I
highway.
bring
Any
up-
questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
We talked about striping before on South Parsonage,
Right.
and it seems to me that we did the borders of the asphalt. And do you think that, what does everyone feel about having or think about having a shoulder there?
What do you mean?
It's, if we could just do a white shoulder, because this South Parsonage is about the same width as
Well,
Knollwood, and we
you're
have,
talking about the rest of what we paved?
yeah,
What
just
I
so
think
people
about
feel
it-
like a little,
What I think about it is we're gonna paint that one, and why aren't we gonna paint every village street?
well, because these are wide, and they're semi-arterials, just like Knollwood has a shoulder.
So aren't a lot of other streets.
No, I don't think there's a lot of others.
Mulberry Street's a big arterial through the village. Everybody uses that as a get-around.
What do you mean by shoulder?
He wants a painted
stripe.
area on the shoulders of the road. like
Whatever you
pedestrian
could,
zone.
just like we have on Knollwood, whatever the remaining width would be after you could take the standard lane width into effect.
See, there
So
are
one
thorough-
side there is a sidewalk, so that's considered a shoulder also?
Well, that's not a continuous sidewalk, it's
Yeah, they
a
have to
train wreck of a
address,
sidewalk.
We painted it the same way it was painted before. Now, what Brant's asking is to put new striping, which wasn't there previously.
Right.
The rest of South Parsonage Street.
Oh, all the way down?
Yeah.
Oh.
To, at least to Knollwood, just so it's, kind of a walk to school kind of thing.
Yeah, they're primary routes to school, and if we're not going to actively address the sidewalk deficiencies, then in the meantime, it may provide an increased safety barrier for
And what
children
I would
walking.
suggest is if we want kids walking along the edges of the road, I would much rather they didn't walk on South Parsonage. I'd rather have them cut North Park to Arnett Road and go down Arnett Road. There's a heck of a lot less traffic on Arnett Road.
I think
If
that's
we're
what they
talking
do.
about going to Chancellor Livingston,
Yeah.
I think that's what they do now. I don't see a lot of kids walking on.
There's people that walk, yeah.
There's
Kids or
the reason why a lot of
Heinz
people
walks
don't
on
walk
there.
on
Okay,
it.
now we're talking about Heinz, not kids.
Well, we don't want
Well-
Heinz to get run over either.
Well, no, my wife.
Do you walk on South Parsonage or you go Arnett?
I never go on Arnett.
Why not? You don't like Arnett?
No, because my wife doesn't like to go on Arnett.
You like more activity, cars going by,
Well,
right?
we can't be striping roads based upon what village trustees and their wives think.
I think there's more.
But I
of
do
that.
see a lot of kids.
Yeah,
walking
I
there,
don't think it's
you know.
scarce to see.
And
for
without,
traffic there.
without a safe route, it's a deterrent.
Yeah.
I know, my family doesn't walk that road because it's not safe. That's why.
Like I said, if I was walking it,
Yeah.
I'd take Arnett Road. I wouldn't walk South Parsonage Street.
But if the sidewalk was continuous on Parsonage, you would walk.
If there was a sidewalk there, certainly.
There is partly a
There is,
sidewalk over there, yeah.
So there's not a strong feeling among you guys to,
I don't like the thought, to me, then it's just gonna encourage more pedestrian traffic on South Parsonage Street, which I would rather not see.
Oh, I don't.
I would
mind
rather
having-
see it, I'd rather see people walking on Arnett Road. It's safer, much less traffic on that road.
I agree with you. If you put the stripe there and more people are gonna walk on it,
So,
South
but-
It's a busier
Parsonage-
road,
South
South
Parsonage Street, as you guys say, it's a shortcut. People come up Route 9, and then they can come in behind Hobson's, up that way, and then they can take South Parsonage Street to get into the village, as opposed to having to come up Route 9 and get to the traffic light. So a lot of volume of traffic goes up that way. Same thing, people coming down from the north, turn by the fairgrounds, and they come down Mulberry Street to shoot around, so that they don't have to hit the traffic light. It makes more sense to me to have people using alternate streets for pedestrian zone.
they're not being directed to Arnett though. I mean, it's,
We can, if you want, you can make a motion, and we can put it to a vote.
okay, I'll make a motion that we stripe a shoulder on both sides of South Parsonage.
Second.
And give the start and the finish, so that's clear where we're going.
From North Park to Knollwood.
Okay. And you seconded,
I second.
I seconded it. Okay.
Wait, how about North Park to
Mill,
Mill?
I like that better.
That's how you want it. Yeah,
Is that it?
your second?
I second it, yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion?
yeah, I wanna know, is there enough room there?
Yeah.
Well, provided there's enough room for standard lane width.
For
Not on
for two
both.
cars, for two-way
Well,
street?
it's, I walked it off, it's almost the same width as, that will be a provision, that'll be a condition. Whatever standard lane width is plus whatever's left over. If it's 6 inches, it's not worth it. If there's a comfortable 24-inch walking lane, then we would do it, or something like that. You have to measure it up.
And if we could get one lane out on one side, we could
That's true.
skew it to
Well,
one
we
side.
can't change the crown, we don't want to change the
Yeah, sure.
crown of the road. Right?
Are we okay?
Yeah.
That's how we're gonna propose it? Motion?
Mhm.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Vote passes 3-2. Okay.
Now, I have one more thing, it's a small thing, and as far as roads are concerned. We had, a couple of weeks ago, we wanted to have some signs put up, one where Heath is and one on Stortini Drive, Jim. What is
I think
the,
Mike's got the signs, and he and I gotta go do the markup.
okay.
I think he told me last Thursday or Friday he got the signs.
I just have a question and clarification on the bridge. You know, there was a proposal in the letter to construct a plan.
Yeah, well, now that we're going to talk to the state, maybe we should,
Okay.
Tom's belief is that the state has caused this problem, and that we shouldn't really be doing anything. Whether we can get the state to agree to that, that's another thing.
Okay.
That's his belief, is that this drain, where those pipes come out of the bank, they put those drains in there, some type of under drain, right? And that's what's causing the problem. And he says if we didn't put the drainage in, then it shouldn't be our responsibility to correct the problem they created.
storm drains from Route 9.
Right. So who's going to interface with
I'm
the
gonna have to
state?
reach out to DOT.
Okay.
No,
Tom says he's willing to draft a letter if I want, so I'm gonna sit down
Okay.
with him and find out how the letter should be worded.
Okay.
So you're questioning, I know he has a price in there to further develop a plan.
Yeah.
But we should do that to see what the state, after, what the
We
state
should-
Sure, yeah,
We
I
should
just,
approach the state first.
you know, I had approached the state initially and, you know, they said it's not their responsibility, so I was just wondering where the next step was. And so we should have that answer relatively.
I just want to make a statement about the water, the water line that goes there. When we looked at it with Howie and I and Mike, it seems to me that water line is really deep down. And for us to repair this water line would cause a lot of grief in terms of the footings and between the bridge and the walk bridge and Route 9. And also, if we ever get to do any work there, the 4-inch line is probably not big enough. It is also in bad shape, most likely, from what I have seen on the one upstream. So if we ever going to do something there, I think we need to do, as we did on South Parsonage Street, have the water line insulated and elevated.
Well, that has nothing.
It has nothing to do
Nothing
with the
to do
bridge.
with
I'm
the
just,
pedestrian part though, right?
No, but I just had made a point before that I'd like to be included in the discussions on this thing, but I think this is going to be a much different kind of a
My
job.
question is, if there's gonna be a repair done on the pedestrian bridge,
Bridge.
that the water line is not in that vicinity, it's not
Yes,
affected, correct?
yeah, it is in very close proximity, and mainly because the opening, or the opening between
Is
the
it
walkway bridge.
affected?
Well, let me finish, please, okay? It is between the bridge, the walk bridge and Route 9, there is about a 3-foot area. And in that 3-foot area, the water line goes in. So if we ever were to dig out this, or wanted to dig out that area, we would actually get into the footings of, close to the bridge.
So
and so on.
my question is, because I haven't looked at it,
Yeah.
what I'm trying to determine is where this railing, which is what we're concerned about fixing, is the railing on the pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, that is,
Are we gonna be doing any work in the area of that water pipe?
no.
Okay.
No,
That's all
because
wanted to
I
know.
think the work is being done on the east side of the bridge, right, on the upstream
Yeah,
side.
the water pipe is actually in the water.
And the water pipe is actually
Okay, so
between
it's
the
two
two.
separate matters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I
It's
just
the
want to
same
be
thing-
clear, because
yeah.
if I'm going to go to the state, I want to have a good understanding of the dynamics that are there.
It's the same thing we had with the water pipe over here by South Parsonage Bridge, where
Right.
the water line was in the
In
stream.
the stream, yeah.
This is
But
the
it's so
same thing.
deep, it is so deep in the stream, you know.
Needed to know if the pedestrian
No, okay,
bridge
okay.
repair was going to affect.
Yeah, this is a whole nother
Okay.
project.
Is that it for streets?
Yeah, that's it, unless anybody has any more
Pete,
questions.
you're up.
Okay. For the fire department, we'll start with the call report for the month of October. EMS calls were 25 in the town, 13 in the village, for a total of 38. Fire calls were 10 in the town, 5 in the village, for a total of 15. 3 motor vehicle accidents in the town. And then I'll give you the total calls for the month were 56. And the overall total call, give you the fire department year goes from November 1st to October 31st. So I'm going to give you their annual report. There were a total of 431 calls to the town and 370 to the village, for a total of 801, that being a record year for the department. They're going to start tracking all mutual aid calls. They have tracked, over the past year, they tracked only Rhine Cliff, which had only one in October, and for the year they had 17 calls there. So in the future, they're going to break out Hillside in addition to Rhine Cliff, and then an other group that would account for any other mutual aid calls outside of the district. Couple of things that I wanted to mention is, over the course of the year, they have some people that are regular responders, so I thought I'd mention the top 5 responding people. And we had Bill Vickery with 651 out of those 801 calls, Tony Bowe at 388, John Imprado at 384, and Leanne Trout at 200. So we want to thank them and all the other volunteers for the year. In terms of membership, they appointed 4 new firefighters since our last meeting, all probationary status, those being Clayton Funk, Ryan Cimarelli, Michael Kukul, and Joe Cotta. So I'd like to make a motion to approve their membership in the fire department.
Second?
Second.
Wait a minute, I think I got one more here. I got 4.
Yeah,
that's
I
4.
mentioned 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you mentioned 3.
Clayton Funk,
Yeah,
Ryan Cimarelli,
yeah,
and then Michael.
Quarter and Coogan.
And Joe Cotta.
Right.
You got the second, right?
Yes.
Both of us seconded.
You got that, Lisa? Mm-hmm. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
How did it go?
Want me to finish the membership report?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they have a total, I know we asked last time, but, we know who comes, but we never know who goes.
Right.
So they have a total of 111 members, which includes life members, which can or cannot be active firefighters. On their roster, they have 55 active firefighters, which also includes EMS responders, and of those, there are about 30 that are, make up the core group of firefighters that respond regularly to calls. And I have something to address with that later on.
So is that, as far as fire departments go, is this a normal number?
From what I understand, they're doing fairly well right now in terms of numbers. But on that note, a recruitment statement, any Monday night, I believe it's at 6 o'clock is when they have their training session here, so anyone that may be interested in joining the fire department in a firefighter status, fire police status, or emergency medical responder, EMT status, just stop in and talk to anyone down there on a Monday night.
Okay. Lisa and I need a favor.
Okay.
We've asked multiple times when they send a call report if they would courtesy copy us, and
You haven't got it?
the message is not going through.
Okay. I do have a copy for you on the whole report for you this time.
If you could just
Okay.
have them add us to the email list.
Oh, one last thing. They did have their nominations on Friday night for the line officers and also for the officers of Rhinebeck Fire Incorporated. And then they'll vote next month, and then we'll announce and, approve their, no real surprises in the nominations, but we'll wait until it's finalized over there and announce it next month.
All right. What else you got?
I do have a question on what's the status of the Car 2 out there?
Howard?
Well, now today I heard something else, that if Mike Wolf is requesting if we can get the motor from the truck out here at the highway department, supposedly it'll fit in there, then maybe the highway department can use that as a,
We've been through all of this, we talked about this already, and we gotta find out for a fact that the motor will go from one to the other, that
Right.
the transmission will hook up, that everything else will hook up, and who's going to do this work? Because we're not gonna spend money on it.
Mike says the highway department can do it if if it works, if it fits. He's gonna go to Rugies and find out if it'll work. Because they need a car to go
I'll talk
around
to
with.
Mike when I talk to him about the trailer.
I do have an offer on the table of $50, if that's, not for me, I've heard that.
Yeah, I know.
If you want to go on tomorrow.
And what's the purpose of it if the highway department's gonna have it?
Just so they can have a small vehicle to, when they gotta run to Williams Lumber or down here for something, instead of using a big truck.
Tow the skid steer.
Yeah, and maybe they could tow the skid steer with it. It's four-wheel drive?
Believe so.
Okay. That's it, Heath?
No, I want to know what's happened over
No,
across the
we're
street.
talking about fire department operations.
Oh, okay.
That's it for operations?
Correct.
Okay.
That
So
concludes it.
let us know how you made out across the street.
They had a few questions, but they just kind of sat on it. So there's no, they did not agree to the contract terms or nor disagree to them.
Okay.
So,
So how is it left with us? They're gonna follow up with us and let us know?
yes.
Okay.
This was
My-
not, this isn't their public hearing?
This was their
Right?
public hearing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It has to be
when-
finalized.
When does their
Let's
budget
see.
have to be in?
Yeah.
At the end
Well,
of the year?
they're having their public hearing tonight, so based on their
Yeah.
public hearing, they can choose if they want to vote their budget tonight. It's up to them.
They did allude to the fact that it's not due until December 31st.
Okay.
So I would assume it's not over.
All right. That's it for fire?
Yes.
Streets already done, planning and zoning. I'm sure everybody's aware, our new zoning enforcement officer began work last week. Has everybody met him?
I met him yesterday.
No, not yet.
What's that, Brett?
Not yet, no.
No. His plan is to be here on Mondays and on Thursdays. That would be his regularly scheduled hours. And he was at Town Hall last Thursday night. We did have the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting regarding 47 West Market Street, and he did attend just so that he could familiarize himself with what's going on there. And in order, as a report for that, basically the planning board conducted a fact-finding mission to find out what's going on at 47 West Market, what happened when the county was there, what's happened since the county has left. They asked several questions. Jeff Martin, the property owner's attorney, had basically presented, I guess, what you would call some type of a defense. Called up the people that are involved with the county, called up the people that are involved with Occupations, Inc., Hudson Valley Mental Hygiene, or Hudson Valley Mental Health, and the third one,
The,
Lexington Center for
Yeah.
Recovery, and interviewed all of these people that run these programs to get a feel for what the programs were about, services they provide,
And the hearing is still open, so.
basis of clientele. So the public hearing is going to be continued. The zoning board basically has to digest all this information that they were given and talk with Rich. And November 21st, correct?
It's on for the 21st, which is our next meeting.
November 21st is when it's going to come back to the zoning board. So that's where we are with that. Northern Dutchess Hospital, public hearing for that
Next Tuesday.
next Tuesday. So that one's coming up. We did receive a letter, I might as well talk about it under planning and zoning. We did receive a letter, I have it, correspondence from the Dutchess County Fairgrounds. As everybody's aware, we have been going through for the last 2 years a zoning rewrite for the fairgrounds and creating a fairground district. And we've also been proposing an events code. And we've been through 2 public hearings, or public workshops, I should say, not public hearings. and have come to the point where, we basically feel we have some documents that we can work with. Andy Emperati sent me a letter which I received last week, and they said that, they are happy and content with the documents that are in place, and they would like to move forward. I know, Brant, you said you needed to talk to John Worth a little about the events code. Have you had a...
No, I haven't been able to get a hold of him yet. I'm sure he was busy with the election season.
All right, do you want to follow up with him? Do you want me to
I
follow up?
am, yeah. I think
Okay.
you should call him also,
Okay.
and then we'll powwow
All
about
right,
it.
and then, in speaking with Rich, of course, in order for us to, in other words, the idea here is to try and get this to public hearing, but before we can do that, we have to have the documents in final form, and before we can schedule a public hearing, we also have to have the EAF and the SEQR done in order to present it to the public for approval. So I did call Andy again this morning and said, Andy, just so you're aware, this is where we have to go in order to get this to a public hearing point, so he's aware of it. So the idea here is we'll try and get with John and get the events code finalized. Then we can certainly get those documents out so the public can review them. And,
As far as the zoning district is concerned, I think you and I are comfortable with a draft, but these guys haven't seen it. So we need to get that
right,
to,
we need to have both documents finalized and get that out to everybody.
yeah, make sure you're okay with it before we.
Well, what about, I want to make some comments on the events code. When would I do that?
At the public, well,
Now would be a good
certainly
time.
you can review it and make some comments.
What'd you say?
You should do it now. I mean, not
Okay.
now.
And email you guys, let you know.
Yeah.
I mean, in addition to what you have made at the public workshops we've had, you have more comments?
Right.
Okay, then yeah, you should get that
Mhm.
out there,
Okay.
because if there's gonna be any significant changes, then we gotta go back to the table again.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Soon,
Yeah.
okay?
What exactly did they say about their contributions to the events code? Because they,
Says we decline to comment on the events code language and ask that the village board schedule public hearings on both proposed local laws at the earliest opportunity.
okay, I'm not sure what that means.
They don't feel the need to make any changes to the events code.
Let's see.
Maybe.
Okay? All right, that's it for planning and zoning, unless anybody has any questions. Police and court, everybody got the incident reports and the ticket reports, correct? As far as the police contract with the town, we had made one minor change to the contract, and that was regarding the reimbursement for the IRS mileage. And we wanted to make sure that the town understood that the IRS reimbursement would be for whatever the federal guideline is at the time of the service, meaning that if it changes during the course of the year, then we have the ability to change it. So, did we get that? That's what we finally finalized. Yeah. So, that'll be a matter of being presented to the town for signature and my signature. We would have to approve the contract at the board first, though, correct? Yes. So we'll just need a copy of that. Can be cut next month. Okay, and then we have a request from Tricia. Did everybody get a copy of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She needs
$50.
petty cash, simply because of the change that we made downstairs for cash transactions. She needs to be able to have some cash. And we're not selling garbage bags and stuff anymore. I'll make a motion to approve that we establish a $50 petty cash drawer for the court. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
The only two people that have access to the safe, that's just you and Pat, right?
The safe downstairs, yeah, but she'd have hers up in her
She has a
locked.
safe, she has a safe up there?
All of her cabinets are locked.
Yeah, but
And we can put it in the safe downstairs. But she has court. She needs it for court when she's here and she has no change for when
So
people are paying their fines.
The question is, how does she keep safe?
How does she get
She
replenished?
has locked
She has
cabinets
locked
in her
cabinets.
office that she can put it in.
She has all of
And to replenish it, then how does,
It's never, it should never, it's not, it's just a cash drawer, so somebody gives her 20, and they only need to give her 10, she makes the change. So it's not like money is ever going out.
oh, that's.
It's always
yeah,
going to be
okay,
She's
that's-
not
$50.
purchasing anything.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It's just a change drawer, that's it.
Is $50 enough?
That's what she asked for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta trust her, unless you wanna start trouble.
No, I'm just thinking, since knock on wood, I don't go to court often.
Keep
I
rabble
would-
rousing, you might be.
So does she keep
I would think she would need
the
more,
other
but
cash?
she knows what she's
Does she
asking
keep
for.
the other cash?
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Dog report, you got one?
Yeah,
Favorite.
Ah, here it is. Under the piece of paper there.
for September.
Okay, 9/15/13, complaint from a concerned citizen, took him to 86 East Market Street. A pit bull was seen in that yard, and people wanted to know more about it. Was it licensed, inoculated, and being controlled responsibly in an area where it could cause a lot of problems? It did not belong to the lady I spoke with. She was caring for it for her sister. She didn't think it was licensed because her sister hasn't been there very long. She was
Sure.
sure? Sure the dog had been
Inoculated.
inoculated. The dog is never outside alone. I gave her a warning to get it done, and soon, if in fact it was not licensed already. I'm still checking on the sister. Haven't met her yet. That's it for that. Committee reports. Trees, Howard.
Okay, we had a very successful tree planting on November 2nd. We planted 22 trees and had more than 20 volunteers. I'd also like to note we had 5 volunteers from Daytop, and they always pitch in. They're the strongest guys there. We really need them. I'd like to thank Daytop for that. The spring tree planting is scheduled for April 26th, and I'll be reminding you as that comes on. What else? I'd like to thank Tom Johnson, the Highway Department employee who dug the holes for us. Did a good job.
I'm confused.
What?
Apparently, the highway department guys were confused and I'm confused. It says 3 holes were not dug, but that may be because the signs confused the highway department and who thought one sign indicated only 1 tree was to be placed there. Next year, we will wait to place the signs until after the holiday.
Yeah, that does
If they
confuse
were
me.
confused about 1 sign,
They
3
confused
trees
about
were
all of
planted.
them.
If there's no signs, what's going to happen?
Okay, what happened was, we didn't have signs in every place, but we had a list for Tom to go off of, say, 57 Chestnut, whatever. There was only 1 sign there, but there was a spot for 2 holes, so he only dug the 1 hole. He did the right thing. The tree commission has to,
I don't think it's the highway department.
no, that's what I'm saying, that's why I didn't mention it.
And now they're saying.
I'm not blaming
Now
anybody.
they're saying next year they'll place the signs after the planting. That means no trees, no holes are going to go,
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll mention that at our next meeting.
right?
Yeah.
Am I reading it right?
Yeah, you're reading it, yeah.
Okay.
No, you know what you know what they mean?
I was really confused by it.
We don't have enough signs.
Doesn't take a lot to
Well,
confuse
listen,
you, you know
listen. We don't have enough signs for all the holes.
They're talking about the signs they put up afterwards that
Right, so,
recognize that it was planted.
so,
by
yeah,
the
what they
tree
want to do is
commission.
put up the signs after it's been planted and leave up the sign for a couple weeks, saying this tree was planted by the tree commission.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not confused anymore now.
No, you're completely straight
I still
now.
don't understand what's going to happen next year.
Next year, we're going to have the address, and we're going to say 1 or 2 trees at the specific address, and we're going to put little flags up where the holes go. But we didn't want to write all that.
You're on it?
Yeah, we didn't want to write another 2 pages of stuff on here.
All right, and here we have, it says one problem was the unhappiness of the Bicks to have the trees moved from between the sidewalk and the lawn to the inside the lawn.
Yeah,
I don't get it. You got the sidewalk and you got the lawn.
Right.
And then went inside the lawn.
yeah, the original flags were put up in between the road and the sidewalk.
Oh, so then this is wrong, and it says the sidewalk and the lawn, it should be, say the sidewalk and the road, right?
Right.
Right. Okay.
Okay, where was I? Okay, one of the things we talked about was the fact that we are over budget about 3 months into our year here on taking down the trees. This is also wrong here. We spent $10,500. We're $500 over budget, but we also have about $3,000 more of trees that are going to be taken down in the next couple of weeks that we already approved. So some of them are questioning, how can we agree to cut trees down when we know we are over budget?
And what's the answer?
Cecily feels this is a decision for the village board rather than the commission members.
So what's the answer?
The answer is we have to increase the tree takedown budget by about $10,000, from $10,000 to
That's not a
$20,000.
reality, because we already formed our budget, we can't increase it. You can move it from line to
Okay,
another line.
we can move it from,
Budget's already finalized.
right, so what lines can we move it from?
Somewhere in your department, you gotta find the money and move it.
Okay. Well, next year, the answer is to increase the tree takedown budget.
Well, that's for budget process.
Right, which starts in February.
No, it's gonna start in
Yeah,
January.
January.
It's gonna start in
So we don't
January.
have meetings every day like we did that one week. Can we pick out the really sick trees if I mean, I guess we can't pick any less trees to cut down, right? I mean, we can't prioritize or. it
We
just-
try to do that, and that's why the second part of this paragraph
Right,
says we
yeah.
have a lot of requests for pruning, which we deny because we know we don't have enough money to do it. And those trees are not sick, they're just,
And
there's
the
a
one
few-
that you took down yesterday, that was really needed.
yeah, there's a lot of trees that are dying
Yeah.
all at once.
All the ones that are
Well, you have
public
to take
safety
the ones that
hazards.
are immediate danger.
Right.
That's what we have to do.
So what was your question again?
I mean, I guess that's true. I've gone by them and they always look like they need to be taken down.
I know. I know, and even ones that look good fall down during the wind, like the one down there. That wasn't a street tree on Montgomery Street, but that tree didn't look dead. But the whole inside was hollow.
Yeah.
What else?
So I have some requests here. Most of them are for pruning, as you can see. And we, want me to read each one?
What we need is what your recommendation is here. What do we do?
Okay, for 56 Livingston Street, we request that the pruning needs to be done, but bearing in mind the cost, recommends that the village offer a permit for the homeowner to have the tree professionally
action.
pruned. No,
And the next one, there's no action to be taken.
right.
What about the next one? What about Hillbrant?
We didn't really look.
Tables of decision. the
This
homeowner
came in
has
last.
to remove.
Yeah, this
Okay.
came in late, so.
Marvin, 29 Mill Street.
Marvin, we recommend that.
No action.
No action because it's out of the right of way. Mr. Rogers, we recommend that the 3 branches be pruned because we are taking down trees right next door that has already been approved at Traver's house. So they're gonna be right there, so they can just swing over while they're up there and just prune these ones that are dangerous.
Okay, so now my next question is down here at the bottom.
All right.
So several trees have not had any action taken. Cecily has been frustrated since she gets called and asked about these trees. My question is, why are people calling Cecily? If it's a problem with a tree, they should be calling the village,
Okay.
you know? So,
They know she's the head of the tree commission, so they call her
so,
automatically.
I mean, are these personal friends, or the average person doesn't know who Cecily is, it's the tree commission? I'm trying to figure out why this line of communication gets started.
Well, I don't know, I can ask Cecily why they're calling her. She never really, she never
Because,
told me
I
or
mean,
complained.
The way
about
it should flow is that if a resident
Why?
has a concern with a tree, they contact the village,
Right.
all right? And what I'm hoping here isn't happening is that they're calling the highway department, and the highway department's referring them to the tree commission,
I don't think so.
you know? So let's just make
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
right? I mean, the village, everything should be coming to the village, and then the village, you as the liaison would talk to the tree commission and say, we need you to look at these trees. And then the tree commission would make their recommendation to us, and then we would contact the property owner and let the property owner know.
Right.
Cecily shouldn't have to be hounded by people. You know?
Right.
No wonder why she wants to resign.
No, she's been doing it for 4 years. Wait till John gets people hounding him.
You know? So let's just check in with that.
Yeah, I'll ask her why they're calling her.
You don't want to volunteer being hounded by the public, you know?
No.
All right, now what's the one on Livingston Street with
Mrs. Minton? Okay.
is that the one on the corner that you and I looked at?
Yes, now,
That big sidewalk up people, right?
right, so we can have somebody,
So it's not pavers, it's the bluestone.
yeah, the bluestone, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it, either that, the root's gotta get cut on that tree, or that tree's gotta come out. That's the only way we can fix it.
We don't want to go over it?
I don't think we can.
Well, it's been done in a few other places since we looked at it. Michael Bird did it,
With that big of an upheaval?
yeah.
Well,
If you want to look at it, I'll show you.
all right.
But the question is the village going to pay for somebody to do that? That's the question. Since it's a village tree.
Well, we'll have to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, why can't our guys do it?
Right, or us do the work, yeah,
We'll have to look at it, all right?
yeah.
Get with me.
Okay,
There you go.
any other questions? I just want to say one other thing. New officers will be elected in December. John Weschler has offered to take over the chairperson position. Cecily's been doing it for 4 years. I'd like to thank Cecily. She's been a very hard worker at that, and she loves doing it. She loves people calling her up, talking to her about trees.
But she's frustrated.
Yeah. Okay, and Tess McKellen resigned due to ill health, and we want to thank her for her work on the commission. And we will miss Tess very much on the commission. And another thing down here, as you see on the bottom, is John Weschler. Let me talk about this now, the Frost Foundation.
Go ahead.
Okay. John Weschler would like to apply to the Frost Foundation for a grant to hire a landscape designer for the Legion Park down on Route 9. And the idea is to clean up the park along the stream and maybe have a little trail down there. And he's looking to apply for $10,000 to the Frost Foundation, but the village would be the applicant. So we have to talk about this.
Let me see what you got there.
Is the idea that we would have volunteers do the work after it was designed?
Yes, just the design and then,
So the design would be the end of the expenses?
Right.
Have you seen, I've seen it.
Yeah.
you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Says here through a member of the Rhinebeck Village Tree Commission, John Wesley, the village applied last year for a grant to hire a landscape architect. Who did we apply with?
No, he didn't apply. He's been I don't know why,
It says here.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember applying for a grant.
no.
I think it's wonderful that he wants to do that.
Here, I'm sorry.
Has the tree commission
We did talk about it.
deliberated this, or was it just coming from?
No, we
An
deliberated.
individual,
John
okay.
Weschler and Michael Frazier did a lot of work in the park last year, cleaning it up
Okay.
on their own time.
Yeah.
And he recognizes there's a potential there. John went to some archives, you see on the second page here. There's a 1925 sketch of the park, and there's a trail alongside the stream.
Is there such a grant available from the Frost Foundation? Or do we
Well, the
just,
Frost Foundation awards money to people and organizations, whatever, in Rhinebeck. That's what it was set up for.
So
You
then-
know, Benson and Barbara Frost
And their next
longtime
meeting,
residents, and when they both passed, that's what the idea of the fund was to benefit Rhinebeck. I have an issue with the fact that this says through a member of the Rhinebeck Village Tree Commission, the village applied last year for a grant. That's not
We may
true.
have, though. I remember talking about it.
no, we didn't, not to the Frost Foundation.
You sure?
Positive.
We were talking about the Rockefeller Park and trying to,
Right, but we didn't apply for the grant.
No, they wanted to do some plantings there at Rockefeller Park, but it was not planned discussion.
So the next time that the Frost Foundation meets is in March, so,
so we can just correct the letter and then look at it again, right?
yeah.
And just to give you a heads up too, as I had mentioned earlier this year, I renewed our request for help with the Big Belly project with the Frost Foundation. And I sent them that letter back in September. And I spoke with Chris Chesney last week, and he said that they're going to consider that for a 2014 award.
Oh, good.
We should, hopefully, next spring when they meet, we'll know more on that one. That one's already in front of them.
Yeah, and you applied for that in
We applied
September
for it in 2011.
2011, yeah.
It was the first time we requested it. And Chris had told me in the springtime that, they were going to be meeting again this fall, and if I wanted to resubmit, to go ahead and do it. So I sent a letter of interest to him again. And the request was for whatever help they could give us to help expand the Big Belly program. I said, our build-out plan is for about 8 more units, and 5 of those would go in the downtown area, and 1 would go at the mini park, 1 would go at the Rockefeller Lane Park, and 1 would go at the Legion Park.
Is there any consideration of this project outside of the grant application?
No.
Okay.
And my suggestion here is, Howard, that I don't think this is going to, as it's presented, I don't think this will be successful, because there's just not enough information, because they're just asking for money, and they don't have a plan, or really have a description of what they're
Should have
proposing, what this park will be.
should have some kind of a
what their-
sketch.
What their money, what their money is going to go to. So my suggestion would be that you go to John and the Tree Commission and suggest that they come up with more of a description of what their plan is going to be. In other words, like Heinz says, some type of a sketch drawing or something, this is what we would like to park. This is our concept, and we want to hire somebody to help us develop this.
I mean, could there be a committee that was not just the tree commission, other members of the community? I mean, that park is kind of the gateway to the village, and it is in disrepair. And it could be very nice, but
Howie, what would be helpful probably if you go on the website and from the county to pull down a map of the area that you want to do, to garden, and then lay on top of it what you think you want to do.
Well, that's why he wants to hire somebody to.
No. I'm just, you should have a piece, a plan
Yeah.
of the land, what it looks like now.
Right.
Okay, and then you describe a walkway that it was, you can sort of outline this. You don't have to tell them
Some
what kind of plantings you want to put in there.
Conceptual details.
Yeah, well, I think he's going,
Just a high level plan.
right.
yeah, before we put money into developing a plan with one vision, maybe other people would want to see, other
Well,
recreational opportunities
yeah.
on
It
that
wouldn't hurt
site.
to get the American Legion included in this, because the American Legion memorials and all are down there at the bottom of the hill, and they definitely need some work there.
Yeah, it's in bad shape. The flagpole's not in great shape.
But I think it's wonderful that he wants to do that,
I think,
yeah.
I think-
I mean, that, to me, is a very underutilized resource here in the community. I mean, I use that place a lot, but very few people in this village do. And I definitely could, be a much better resource than it is now. And if it was developed and there was more to offer the public, I think it would be used more.
But I was thinking of encouraging John to work that. I think it's nice that he's doing that.
yeah, well, I think he's going more by the 1925 sketch of the park, where it shows people enjoying the
See, that would be helpful.
picnicking and.
If he found that in the library, that would be helpful
Well, he's been
to show
working
this.
with, with Michael Frazier,
Fraser, right.
looking for that, yeah. Okay.
Did I understand that the tree commission was not happy with the trimming on the north side of the, did I understand that correctly at one time?
North side of the what?
Of the bridge there. There was all that high brush, it was, I don't know what it was, but
No, it wasn't the tree commission, it was,
somebody was unhappy.
yeah, Meg and Meg Crawford and Mike were, John Wesley.
Okay. I thought it was a vast improvement when they took all that.
Well, no, they
Stuff down.
planted some things, and then
Oh.
they were trimmed down. I guess they were cut down by a lawnmower.
Got it.
They planted them on the edge.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Website, you got anything? Finance and controls?
I have a question on the website. Just, when I was looking at the vouchers down there, I noticed we spend a fair amount of money on postage from water and sewer departments. I know we kind of talked once about accepting, I know we do take credit cards, but if we were to ever look at a website that could have, go paperless like we do with a lot of our bills, someone could sign up and have their water bill delivered, via email, you pay it with a bank transfer, and we save lots of money over the course of time.
And they build it out. That's
Yeah.
quite an undertaking, though, to do that,
I will ask a question.
yeah.
Some kind of billing compatibility with it.
Like I do with my gasoline bill or with my.
Yeah, your credit card bill comes on your
Oil
email.
bill, yeah.
I will ask. Find out for you. Anything else on the website? Finance and controls?
I've been looking into this biometric time clock, and I went across the street, and the town uses this Amano biometric finger punch-in, and all it does is it's a replacement for your timesheet. And so Pat and I looked at pricing, and she contacted 3 different places, and Pat Kuhn, and we found out that these are at Sam's for $398. So I'm of the mind that we could just start with one, put it here, and have all the folks that work here, use it, and then give it a test run. And then and if it works over 90 days, then we can start putting it in our other locations.
Give me a better idea how it works now? They touch it
It's-
with your finger,
Yeah, it's just,
and how does it?
here's a picture of it.
How does it then interface as far as your payroll? I mean, it's not logging it into a computer system and doing any calculation for it? I mean,
It's calculating, you can say, okay, this is vacation time, straight time, or, overtime, but you know how we have the calculation sheet that we use, that the foremen use, and when they code, so that would be attached to a printout of that.
so they would have to take that printout and then they would supply that to the payroll company?
Right. No, not the payroll company, you don't have to go out, this is all through us.
Well,
So you'd have
we
to-
don't do our payroll. We send it to them.
Oh, yeah, no, Pat would, yeah, what I mean is, when you're done, yes.
So they're still.
But you know how the
They're just
scram-
gonna take a printout and then they're gonna have to provide that for payroll purposes.
Right, all this does is replace the punch card.
A handwritten card or whatever type of timekeeping system
Yeah,
you're using.
well, I guess
but
we
it's
don't use,
biometric.
we don't use the punch card here, we use the punch card in the,
Yeah, we do all manual time cards, right?
Here we do, yeah.
It's the
Time cards are only in the,
Highway department too, right?
no, the highway department has a,
they have a
Oh,
punch.
that's right,
They
yeah,
have-
they do have a punch
all the other
card.
departments have a time clock.
Is the union gonna have a problem with that?
Well, we already put that in the contract, because we've been talking about this for years. So,
When I was talking with you and Pat before, though, we wanted to get this one and put it in here, and then expand to the other departments if it works, but
and they've had great luck with it, they even worked over the
this
swimming
has to be
pool.
a report pulled from the computer. So if you're going to put one in at the highway department, it's going to be very difficult, I think, to get Mike to pull a report. He doesn't use a computer.
I did a little research on
Maybe you'll
this.
have to.
Yeah, that's, I
Yeah.
mean, that,
I know.
Some
but,
of
I mean,
them have-
there we can research it a little bit more and see if there's something that has an intranet or a VPN
But
that
see,
connects all of
you-
them together.
I saw some of them have, you can have like thumb drives. So at the end of the week, you can download it and bring it here. on just a little tiny drive, and that may have it, I don't know.
It
Some
would
of
have
the-
that feature, I'm sure.
Yeah, some of the ones I looked
yeah.
at had that, or you can package the data and email it off. But,
That I don't think, but
well, if we don't have
So it would have
computers
a
at all
USB drive that you
places.
can put in.
the only
download it,
limitation I
and-
see with this is you need the USB or Ethernet connection, so it's like a physical wire, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we would have to have at the remote spots.
You need a Wi-Fi, that's what you.
Or you can go and
Well,
pick it up
They
on
have
a
to-
little drive and bring it over.
Or, yeah.
But they have to be able to
shiny,
use
put
a
in.
computer to generate their,
Well, he knows how to use a computer.
But I don't think you'd need to, you could probably download it right off of the unit, I think, onto the drive and then bring it, but it's something we would have to look into.
So what are you proposing, Brent?
Well,
Want to start out with one?
yeah, I want to start out with one and
Make a
see how.
motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we buy one of these at Sam's for it's about $400.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
One more thing, we have to have our IT guy and, do the wire to Pat's office. Or we could put it in the vestibule maybe and run the wire right through that closet into her, to connect it to her computer.
You got a second?
Just,
A little extra
Yeah.
expense.
it's already been a second.
Yeah, we're in discussion.
I'd just like to make sure that it's, upgradable so that we can hit all the others. And do they have, I know some of them that I looked at had a, kind of a heavy-duty version, so if you're at the highway department or something, you could grease all over it.
They recommend, what this one has is you have a fingerprint and you have a backup fingerprint. So you can, if you have an injury or if you have, too much grease on your hands or whatever, they do recommend that you use a handprint.
Take your shoe off.
They recommend for people who work with their hands that you do a handprint one, which is more money. I don't know if that's a marketing thing where they're trying to get you to buy the more expensive thing. But I think they use this one at the pool with the, with the kids, so.
How are we gonna pay for this?
Have you talked to any other municipalities at all, other than across the street?
No,
I know City of Kingston that way.
I talked to ADP too, I think it was, and Kronos is the other
We had
big
ADP come in here and give us a full-blown proposal, set the whole thing up a few years ago.
one. Right. But you have to use their
All we met
payroll
was
services
opposition
to get
from the
their,
office staff.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that, we can't do that.
it's a lot more expensive than these.
all this does
standalone
is
units.
replace the punch card,
Well,
so we still have to do that.
ADP was gonna end up doing the entire payroll and tax reporting and all of that stuff for us.
Yeah, they won't give you that unit, the biometric unit, unless you sign on. For them, it's a whole package.
Yeah, right, that's why I want to do this simply, like, someone at the street department could be coded to 3 different activities in one day. You still have to do that, you still have to have Mike or whatever do that calculation, and then attach this to the you know what I mean?
Why wouldn't we want to put this, for instance, in the sewer department where we have?
He's talking about doing a test run. See
Test
how
I
it
want
works.
to do a
Yeah,
test
that's
run.
what I
Instead of
mean.
going out and buying 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, exactly right. But why one of them? And maybe we split the cost between sewer and water.
No,
You have to
you
have a
still
unit
need
in
one
each
at each
place.
Oh, you have
facility.
to have one.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be.
Otherwise, everybody has to come here to clock in and out.
Yeah, well, no, I thought you would just get it for test running and so on. For test runs, I think we can.
Test run here.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy one, put it here, and have the village hall employees use it, see how it works, and then decide if we want to put it in multiple locations.
So I suggest we get started on this. Well, we are
Well,
under,
Heinz had a question, where's the money gonna come from?
it's just $398.
I know, it's just.
It's gonna be my credit
Well,
card. I expect
well,
you
if-
to
It
reimburse.
comes out of the village hall budget.
Well, it should come out of everybody's budget. right?
No, we're doing one test run for village hall. It comes out of that budget. If we decide we're gonna buy one for the other locations, then it comes out of their budget.
Well, that's why I said maybe we should put it in the sewer department first and come out of the sewer and water department budget. Can do that too, right? Doesn't have to be village hall.
It's gonna be easier for us to put it here
Okay.
and have the staff here use it and learn how to use it and interface it with the timesheets and all of that, okay?
And we get feedback from Pat and from Lisa and.
And they may decide, you know what, it's not working out.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have to do all the payroll reporting, so they can do a test run with their timekeeping for payroll purposes.
So we
And
can.
not only that, but we could have a hybrid. We could end up using something if it's easier to have a network kind of thing for the remote stuff, we could still use this one here.
And we can split it up 3 ways, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Let's
So the
take a
police-
little-
the police
let's take
department
a little
will-
step to get started. Okay? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So voted. Other business, you already covered that, right, Heinz?
Yeah.
Correspondence.
Oh, wait, I still want to go over the AT&T thing from last month. Because they do want to expand their lease facility. It's 8 feet by 12 feet. And what you guys wanted me to go back to talk to Warren Temple, the only real neighbor that would be affected by the noise for this generator. And he's fine with it. I suggested we approve it subject to their level 2 sound enclosure, which will get the decibel level down as low as it can go. So they'd be renting an 8 by 12 lease space for $371.52 a month. We split it 50%.
Location is to the
Directly
south of.
Directly south of the smaller aggregate stone shelter back there. So it's subject to Rich approving the simple lease amendment that they're gonna give us.
Did they already run the cable out there?
Yeah,
Okay.
you sure have.
Yeah.
They
Kind
tried
of like a hole open out there that was,
They tried to fish
They
it through
dug a
the
moat.
existing conduit, but there was a 90-degree turn, so it wouldn't make the turn, and then they had to they did another trench.
Dug a moat.
They did a moat, and they came back.
Speed bump.
Want to make a motion?
Yeah, make a motion that we approve the AT&T wireless lease expansion, subject to the site lease amendment being satisfactory to Rich Olson.
Is there a second?
second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
Thank you.
Correspondence? Yes? Okay. We had gotten a request quite a while back from a group that, it's the girls under 11 soccer team. They want to host a bake sale on the sidewalk in front of Town Hall. And actually, they can't host it on the sidewalk. They've been informed of that.
Yes.
They want to be on the front lawn of the Town Hall, adjacent to the sidewalk, and have a bake sale during Santa Claus. So they were requesting permission from us because it's located in the village, and we said, well, we can't give you permission to be on the Town Hall lawn. You need to get approval from the town board. So they have provided us with a approval application from the clerk's office that says that it's okay for them to be there. So I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Rhinebeck Farmers Market, October 15th. Rhinebeck Farmers Market is requesting putting up their 4 pole banners again this year for the Winter Farmers Market. They got 2 more weeks over here in the municipal lot, and then they're going to be every other weekend, starting in December, over at Town Hall. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Rhinebeck Chamber of Commerce, October 16th.
There's another farmer's market thing here. Second one, they want to have the hall.
There was a banner approval thing.
That was the first one.
The second was to reserve the village hall.
Oh. I don't have that one. Okay. Rhinebeck Farmers Market wants to reserve Village Hall for Wednesday, January 22nd. And we've checked to see if that's a court night, right? They want to have their annual meeting, which they've had in the past up here, 6 to 8 p.m., open to the public, includes market vendors, followed by an 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. meeting of the Rhinebeck Farmers Market Board. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Chamber of Commerce, October 16th. To myself and the board, Chamber of Commerce has designated Sunday, December 1st as the day they'd like to have the annual tree lighting at the Rhinebeck Savings Bank parking lot. Lighting takes place at approximately 5:30 p.m. Beginning at 3 p.m., various organizations are going to have tables in the plaza, and they'll be offering different activities and goods. Gentle Giants, Lenny Miller, the leader, and the the Gentle Giants 4-H Club will be doing wagon rides, weather permitting, and Little Creek Band will be playing. They're inviting local fire departments, law enforcement, and civic organizations to participate. Parade begins at 5, line up at Mulberry Street, ending at the bank lot. Thank you for all the village does to make this day possible. Police force helps out with this. A matter of a couple of cars, just making sure that traffic is handled properly. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. We had received 2 letters from the county. I'm sure everybody is aware of this because I did send you guys an email. But we were successful in 2 grant proposals. As everybody's aware, the county executive had last year taken some steps to make some grant funds available. What happened was we took a reduction of $18,000 per year in our sales tax revenue. But he took money and put it into a pool that encouraged shared services and consolidation of governments. So we had applied with the town of Rhinebeck for 1 grant for about $76,000 for what we call a tech grant. And it's going to be computer upgrades and fiber optic cable, shared server. We're going to be able to link, network everything in this building. The town's going to be able to do the same on their side of the street. So we were successful and got that grant. And then we had also applied with 12 other municipalities that joined us. And Aileen Rohr from Hyde Park had kind of headed up that one. The other one, Elizabeth Spinzia, had headed up. And we got $257,205 through the grant program that County Executive Molinaro set up. And we're going to be getting new web-based permitting and enforcement software for planning and zoning. So when you break this down, we took an $18,000 hit in sales tax revenue, but we end up gaining about $55,000 in grant awards.
Between the 2 of us.
Between the 2 of them. So thank you to the county executive and thank you to the legislature, and we're really looking forward to getting these 2 programs up and running. I did receive an email yesterday from the county about steps that need to be taken in order for the tech grant to get started, and probably we're looking at early next year sometime. We had received on October 21st a resolution from the Town of Rhinebeck Board, and it's regarding the hospital expansion. And basically their resolution is just encouraging the village board and the planning board to make sure that as this plan moves forward, that the maximum number of trees in the grassy area will be maintained when they do this expansion. And it was a unanimous resolution on the part of the board.
Well, Supervisor Trout refused himself.
Well, he had to. Today, we received something from Young Rhinebeck. Half day, whole world for middle schoolers. It's lunch and activities. And they want to use this facility, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what this is for?
Mhm.
And this is for December 5th, from 9:30 until 2:30. What day of the week is that?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. That's it, right, Lisa? I don't have anything else.
Is this anything?
What is it? Oh, that's that cable franchise thing. I haven't even gotten a chance to look at it yet.
Well, it's, you know, they define gross revenue being less than what we're getting already, and then there's no money for Panda. It's just it's a feeble attempt at giving us a new contract, so no surprise there.
So is our contract up?
It just continually
It rolls
renews.
over every year unless there's a new contract negotiated.
Yeah.
Well, in this one, they want a 15-year contract.
They define gross
basically-
revenue being less than what we're getting now, so.
Basically, you never get any more out of them than what you currently have. We have probably, from what I've been told, the best contract that you ever can possibly get. When you renegotiate, you always lose.
And anything they give you, they end up charging your end user more money for. So,
You got a pool with bigger communities, or
That's your competition.
that's the, that's the thing. You need
Sounds
competition.
good.
Yeah, should put it in your box.
If Opt Online wants to come here, then we can,
Fios.
or find.
Verizon, yeah, Verizon Fios.
Did you get it?
yeah, I
Pat
didn't
copied it and put it in everybody's box.
Absolutely.
I went through the folder out tonight, I
I
didn't see
didn't,
it.
I didn't get it.
I'm ready to go.
really
Okay,
weird.
we have a request today from Lisa Biscardi, Pat Kuhn, Trish Jackalone, and Karen McFarland. We are requesting that the Village Hall be closed on Thursday, December 26, 2013, and the full-time personnel will use benefit time to compensate for the day off. We are thanking you in advance for the consideration of this matter. So, Christmas is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So you're proposing that we close the Village Hall on Thursday. What about Friday?
Open on Friday.
Friday, we're gonna be open? So they're asking for village offices to be closed on the 26th. The highway, the union people get it by contract, don't they?
No, they have half a day on Christmas Eve.
Half a day on Christmas Eve? Okay.
But we don't do anything on Christmas Eve, it's a full day here?
No, we abide by that too, it's half a day.
That's already in place? Day after day, okay.
So they're requesting that the village offices be closed an extra day. What's
But-
your pleasure?
If we specify that it's for their use of
I got a
what
drink of
time?
water, I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
what would-
Benefit time.
benefit
We
time,
would, yeah.
because I don't want to establish any,
No, it's not,
So
no, we'd
one-time
use our benefit
request?
time
Yeah,
for that day
yeah.
off.
What, you mean, you're using sick days, or?
so closing
A
the,
vacation day, a personal day.
closing the office is a result of them taking their benefit time.
Basically, it's
No.
approving everybody to take the
No, we're
time off.
asking to have village closed so we can have the day off. We're asking for the office to be closed so that we can have
But
the
in
day
reverse, if you
off
approved everybody's day off,
And use our
then
personal time
automatically
for
be
that
closed.
day. It's not
That's the way I
asking,
look- that's
it's
the way
not
I wanna
asking
look
like
at it.
close the office and that's it.
Usually the 26th, there's not much going on. Most countries are closed. It's a holiday. So I don't see a problem with that.
I just don't want to, I want to make sure that it's because we're approving their accrued time, not that we're closing the doors because we're giving them the day off. They have it coming, in other words. There's no rule against them
Well, it says here that
getting together and say,
they're using benefit time.
But have they all put in time off requests, and they've all been,
Right, but they're just asking that the village hall be closed, because otherwise you have to hire additional people to,
yeah.
right,
and you control the days that the village hall is open and closed.
Howard, you can be Lisa for a day.
I'll do
You
payroll.
can be Pat for a day. You can be Karen for a day.
I think we ought to do that.
My only question is, all right, is now we have a situation where, what about if our other department people come to us and they want
That's what I'm
Well, that's what they
concerned
do,
the
yeah.
same request?
about. Yeah. How come the
You
village
mean-
hall's closed and we're working? That's what they're gonna say.
It's going to have to start tomorrow.
Really?
I know.
How come
well,
you
the
guys
sewer
have a
and water
Christmas party?
departments, they can't shut.
Never mind.
It's a given.
Did you say we have a
Right?
Christmas
Well,
party?
I'll
these
talk about
plants,
it
these plants
later.
run with nobody there.
Well, we gotta have
For
somebody in the
2.5
water
days?
department. No,
What's
we're-
that?
We're gonna have somebody in the water department for 12 hours.
Right, but they can run without somebody on staff.
Right.
Yeah,
But not from noon on Christmas Eve till the 27th in the morning.
certainly they can.
Yeah?
If there's a problem, that somebody's notified.
I don't think ours can, but wastewater.
We have, we there 7 days a week.
You know, I mean, what precedent does it set? That's what I'm asking. Does it give everybody the?
That's it. I want to clarify that we're not setting a precedent, because you have to do that, or it's a past practice, or whatever the fuzzy word is. What do you think, Howard?
I just think the other departments are gonna want the day off too, and they're gonna use their time to do it also. They're gonna request it.
Is there a limit on how many people in the highway department can be approved off on any given day?
If they're using vacation days, he's supposed to approve it.
So I'm saying, so if they all ask for a vacation day, you're gonna approve it?
We can't.
I
Well,
would
no,
say no,
unless
but
it
they're
snows.
gonna point to these, if the office is closed,
But
how
they're
come they
going
can
to
have
use
the
the
office
vacation
closed?
days, what time off.
Can we approve this next month, or talk,
Yeah.
this was just
I
thrown.
mean, we
You
want
can
to do
table
it.
it, that's
We
fine.
want to do it, it's just that it doesn't work that way. I mean, we've learned our lessons.
Do we have an executive session planned already?
Tonight?
Yeah. Is that a personnel matter? No?
It's not suitable for,
right
yeah,
now.
But we could,
Well, you could further discuss this on,
unless there's like
in
litigation.
terms of setting a precedent,
Unnecessary.
we could stipulate just this particular day. It's just a one-time thing, right?
Yeah,
But
that's
next
what I
year,
wanna
the
do.
day
Yeah.
after Christmas is
And
gonna
the
be
question,
Friday.
and the question remains, well, if Christmas falls on Monday, does that mean we're gonna close on Tuesday? And then the next year it falls on Tuesday, does that mean we're gonna close on Wednesday? And the next year, Thursday?
That'd be crazy.
And the next year, Friday? That's the question that comes up. So if we say yes to this one, do we honor the request in a different form next year? And if we honor it for these people this year, do we have to honor it for somebody else this year or next year?
Why don't you just adjourn this next month, let me do a little.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
that's your copy?
Yeah, it's also.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have
you can keep that one, I have the original.
table. Any other business? Minutes approval, or water and sewer adjustment?
Okay, we had 18 new owners. Half of them were from the gardens, and we have 18 final bills. The rest of it,
Jack,
the rest of them,
have a good Thanksgiving.
one item was applied to the wrong account, which has been fixed. One of them, we removed charges because it was billed prematurely. One, we removed the collection fee because a person died, the husband of a person died. And the one removal of the collection fee was because we had the meter issues, and it took a while to resolve them, and so I dropped the collection fee. Otherwise, it's,
Make a motion.
I want to make the motion to accept the adjustments as stated.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Brant?
I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 new owners, $25 fee, $25 adjustment, I mean. I've got final bill adjustments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 3 adjustments, 1 billed at closing, the penalty because of the death, and the removal of charges from billed at closing, and a $500 tap fee. And then there's a $20.93, it says normalized, I'm not sure what that is, but $20.93 adjustment.
Motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve those adjustments.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Minutes approval. June 11th. Additions, omissions, or corrections? Motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. June 26th. Any additions, omissions, or corrections? Make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. July 9th. Any additions, omissions, or corrections? I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
I
opposed?
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay. So we got four yeses and one abstention, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. July 30th. Any additions, omissions, or corrections? That one was for the workshop for the Fairgrounds Zoning and Events Code. I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. August 13th. Any additions, omissions, or corrections? I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted.
I got to abstain from that one. I don't think I was here.
August 13th?
Yep.
Okay. So we got four, you were here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 yeses and an abstention. August 27th. Any additions, omissions, or corrections? I'll make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Vouchers are downstairs to be signed, and I believe that's all we have,
Was
correct?
this something that we were supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. To zero out the year end,
All right, so this is a redo of what we've already done? We already had approved some things to close out the year, I believe last month.
I thought you tabled it last month. I didn't have that in the minutes.
No?
Yeah, I don't think we did it last month.
No, it was put on hold again.
All right. So what this is this is to close out all of the accounts from calendar year 2012, 2013, correct?
Yep.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Anything else?
That's it for us.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to go to executive session for personnel matters.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Ready? Okay. I need a motion to adjourn the executive session, please.
I make a motion to adjourn executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted.
That was hard.
Thank you.